Start చేద్దాం. Good evening, Madhu garu.
Good evening, sir.
You may please start, sir. Student already joined.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, sir. Good evening. Today's section is about, I have already discussed earlier, to discuss the monoculture and also a polyculture. Do you know, Yashwant, what is meant by monoculture?
Sir, rearing one culture at a time, like one breed at a time.
Yes, yes. Actually, you are having a slight confusion. Actually, the monoculture is nothing but rearing of only one variety of species. That is called as a monoculture. If in case
Yes, sir.
if you take that one culture means in that one culture we can stock different variety of species. You should not say monoculture means it is a one type of, it is a one culture. In that one culture also the stocking of the species is the most important. Here the thing is we have to rear only one variety of species is called as a monoculture. That means either a katla, either a rohu, either a mrigala. In any of these three, only one variety of species if you are rearing, then it should be, then it is called as a monoculture. This is the most common thing. And other than we are discussing that polyculture. Now you say what is mean by polyculture?
In this, I can say like one culture or more type, other types of fish, or more than one variety of fish.
Yes, the last statement is absolutely right. The rearing of species more than one variety is called as a polyculture. Here we have to stock more than one variety of species in a pond is called as a polyculture. Here we are discussing polyculture means we have to stock more than one. We have discussed that Indian major crops are three species. If you are rearing in the three, any of the two, or if you are going to rear both the three, is called as a polyculture. There is a differentiation. There is another type in polyculture that is called as a composite fish culture. Do you hear this sound? Composite fish culture.
No, sir, I have no idea.
Yes. Actually, composite fish culture is also called as a polyculture. But here the thing is why we are saying this is a composite fish culture. That means all the major crops, if you are rearing in a single pond, is called as a composite fish culture. Here, all the major crops means uh, yesterday's class we have discussed Indian major crops are three and exotic major crops are three. That means Katla, Rohu, Mrigala, at the same time Cyprina Scorpio, Hypothalamic smalltrix, and Tinopharyngian idella. If you are rearing all the six species in a one pond is called as a composite fish culture. Here's the thing, when we are rearing the major crops in a one pond, we can stock it in a different types of uh, ratios or different types of combinations. That means here, if you are rearing Katla, Rohu, Mrigala in one pond, this is called as a three species combination, which is also called as a composite fish culture also. If you are rearing Indian major crops with common carp, that means a Cyprina Scorpio, it is called as a four species combination, which is also a type in composite fish culture. There is a five species combination also, but this five species combination is not that much of successful. But here the huge successful thing is a six species combination, which is most widely used. That means all the Indian major crops and all the exotic major crops is called as a composite fish culture. There is a ratio when we are stocking a single species. Here, based on the site or based on the capacity of the tank, we are going to stock. Here, the thing same like that, but there will be a partition for growing of the each and every species in a polyculture. Let us, I will give you a clarification in this. If you are rearing a Indian major crops only, that means only katla, rohu and mrigala, these three species combination you want to grow in that in one pond. Here you have to stock all the three species in 1 is to 2 is to 1 ratio, or you can stock it in 1 is to 3 is to 1 ratio also. This is most suitable for growing the Indian major crops in a single tank. Here, based on the density of the stocking, we have to differentiate the Katla, Rohu, and Mrigala in 1 is to 3 is to 1 ratio. This is the best thing. And if you want to grow this species in a 4 species combination, there is also a ratio for growing of 4 species combination. That is 1 is to 2 is to 2 is to 1 is to 2. This is the, sorry, 1 is to 2 is to 2 is to 1. This is the best combination for growing of 4 species combination. Same like that in 6 species also will be there. Based on that ratio, we have to stock the species. For 6 species combination, it is very, very important. If you want to note, you can note it also. That is 1 is to 1.5 is to 1 is to 1.5 is to 1.5 is to 1.5 is to 1. This is the species combination for 6 species combination. Here, if you not only growing of 3 species combination, 4 species combination, 6 species combination is called as we have said that that is a composite fish culture. As per that, the polyculture definition is nothing but if you are growing more than one variety of species in a single pond is called as a polyculture. Here, the more than one variety is means if you are rearing fish culture, fish with alternate fish is also a polyculture. At the same thing, if you are rearing fish with prawn is also called as a polyculture. That means Katla with Rosenberg, Katla with Malcolm Sony, like that. If you are rearing fish along with the prawn, which is also called as a polyculture. Here the thing is only we are doing a aquaculture. This is called as a single culture. Polyculture is also a single culture. This is not a dual culture. Why? Because in the same pond we are growing in the same conditions, but we are the stock we have stocked the two different variety of species. That's why we are saying that this is a polyculture. Here the definition is nothing but more than one variety of species. If you are growing in a one pond or one area is called as a polyculture. Have you said that in saying of the monoculture and polyculture definition, you used the word single culture is called as a monoculture. More than one culture is called as a polyculture. If the definition is going to differentiate to give the another meaning, that means if you are growing two cultures in one site, it is called as a integrated farming. Is called as a integrated farm. That means in the same area you are doing a two different or two simultaneous cultures other than aquaculture is called as a integrated farming. You may stock in each and every culture, you may stock two variety of species also, no obligations. That is called as a integrated farming. That means if you are growing a cutla species and rohu species in a one pond, at the same time you are growing a poultry farming, then it is called as a integrated farming. Not only by growing of these two variety of cultures in same area, that is not complete definition for integrated farming. Here the complete definition should be differentiated by giving one culture waste is one culture should be benefited to the another culture. That means when you are growing a poultry farming, it is going to give a low or high amount of excreta, that is nothing but droplings. Those droplings are going to be utilized in a fish tank for developing of the planktons. Here, the condition of the excreta should be in mostly in a low moist content. When it is in a very wet content, here the nutrient levels are going to be seen in a very low. If you are going to store for a small duration of time period, then you stock it in a culture pond. That means in the pond which is going to be reared for fishes. In that pond you have to stock the excreta of the poultry. So here what we are doing is, if you are doing two cultures, one culture should benefit it to the another culture in any of the thing, maybe in a nutrition, maybe in a beneficial in health, other things for fast growth, what it may be, in any of the cause. But here the thing is, one culture should be useful to the another culture. This is going to be give the meaning of integrated farming. Here as we are a fishery students, that means a freshwater aquaculture student, we have to know the what is mean by integrated fish farming. Do you know what is mean by integrated fish farming? As I've already given the definition of integrated farming, now we say what is mean by integrated fish farming.
Having different uh, having different agricultural mm, components like poultry farming with fish farming or uh, something like this, which is integrated with other components of agriculture.
Yeah, you came to near, but I will give you a clarification. As per integrated farming what we have discussed, that means in a same area we have to do a two different types of culture. In that one culture should be utilized to the another culture, as we said, that is called as the integrated farming. Here what we are saying, here what is mean by integrated fish farming, that means in two cultures, one is common for fish culture, and second type of culture is going to be depend upon the farmer. That is maybe a agriculture, maybe a dairy farming, maybe a poultry, maybe a duck culture, maybe a pig culture, maybe a sheep, what it may be. Here the common culture is nothing but a fish culture, but alternate culture is going to be depend upon the farmer. Here integrated fish farming means in two cultures the fish culture should be a major thing, and alternate culture what we are going to be decide, that should be as a main thing. At the same time, the fish tank should be should provide the nutrient levels by the another culture. At the same time, maybe it is not may not be suitable for a few of the cultures, but if your fish culture is also going to be provide the nutrients level to the another culture also. Here the two different ways are there. Either alternate culture should be get benefited, or fish culture should be get benefited. So this is called as a integrated fish farming. But remember the thing, the fish culture should be kept as a major one. That is called as a integrated fish farming. So here I will give you a in brief detailing about the integrated fish farming. Actually, integrated fish farming is going to be done the common thing of fish culture. At the same time, alternate culture we can decide it based on the uh, variety of plants and based on the variety of livestock also. Here integrated fish farming is differentiated. Based on plant varieties means maybe a paddy field that called as a uh, rice field, or maybe a vegetables, or maybe a nursery farming. That means any of the flowering plants should be treated as one culture, and fish culture is the another one. So these types of integrated fish farmings are differentiated based on the plant varieties. And the next variety is based on the livestock. That means either birds or animals. If you are growing with fish culture, then it is called as a livestock integrated fish farming. That means if you are growing fish culture with poultry farming, or if you are growing fish culture with duck farming, or if you are growing fish culture with dairy cattle. Okay, remember the word dairy cattle. And if you're growing with fish culture with sheeps or goats, or also even you can grow with rabbits, or also based on the capability of the farmer, the livestock are going to be decided based on the investment on the farmer. Any of the livestock is going to be decided by the farmer. So majorly, integrated fish farming is going to be done majorly in five varieties. One is poultry cum paddy, sorry, fish cum paddy. Second one is fish cum dairy cattle, fish cum pig, fish cum poultry, and fish cum ducks. These are the most popular varieties for growing of integrated fish farming. In some detail, we will discuss how the each and every integrated fish farming with the different alternate cultures, how the fish culture is going to be utilizing the alternate culture. Now we come with integrated fish farming. In that first type is paddy cum fish culture, or you can say it also fish cum paddy culture also. Any any of this word you can use it, same meaning. Here the culture is going to be seen how in two different ways we can grow this fish cum paddy culture. How? In two ways. First way is nothing but there is a one site of 1 hectare area. In that in in 0.5 hectares, I have constructed a fish tank. In same area, in 0.5 hectares of area, I have constructed a paddy field. That means agriculture site for growing of rice plants. Here, first I have started the fish culture, and after starting of fish culture in 5 days, I have made ready for growing of rice field. I have distributed the plant seeds to the rice field. Within a 15 to 20 days of time period, the field is going to raise a small amount of heighted plants. Okay, the seedlings will grow and will raise the rice crop. And after a few days of time period, it need a continuous water for growing of plants. In that time period, we have to utilize the water which is present in our fish tank. That water is transferred to the rice field in a continuous way, or in a alternate days. Here, as per that integrated farming, one of the culture should get be benefited. So here, the from the fish tank, the water is going to be utilized by the agriculture field. Why we have to give the water to the agriculture field, particularly a fish tank? As per a certain time period after a growing of fishes in a one pond, definitely the tank is needed with water exchange. In that time period, we are going to drain off the water into a drainage route. So by flushing into a drainage canal, instead of that, we can use it in a agriculture field. Why? Because that entire water is going to be contain a high amount of ammonia, nitrates and vagara contents are going to be present. Those contents are going to be utilized by the field. That is the major thing. Here we had to grow only a freshwater species. That is a major conflict for agriculture field. If you are growing a Indian major crops or exotic crops is a not a problem. But it should be a relatable to the freshwater species only. Then only it is that water is going to be get a high nutrients level to the rice field. That is a basic point. Not only rice field. Instead of that, we have discussed maybe those maybe a vegetable plants or maybe a flowering plants you can also grow. Same that situation here. The fish tank water is going to be utilized at the agriculture field. How how the agriculture is going to be benefited to the fish culture? Is there any usage from the agriculture field? Means yes, it is there. When you are growing a fish in a single pond for a long duration of time period, almost when the farmer is going to rear a fish for up to a 10 months or 11 months, then definitely that pond is going to get a benefit from the agriculture field. How? Actually, the when you are growing a rice field, definitely it should be harvested within a 5 to 6 months of time period. Definitely, you are going to do a harvest, because if you didn't do the harvest, entire rice grains are going to be fall into a ground level, and you cannot get any harvest. The entire agriculture is going to be get a spoiled. So at a certain time period, we are going to get yield from the rice field. So that when we are collecting that harvest, and after that the rice grains are grinded in a rice mill, and we are going to get a rice. And rusted materials, those are called as a rice brain. That unwanted rust materials from the rice grains are called as a rice brains. These are going to be used as a feed to the fish tank. That material is going to be used as a feed to the fish tank. So this is the another benefit from the agriculture to the fish tank. At the same time, the fish tank is also doing a benefit to the agriculture field. There is a mutual benefits for to the both the cultures. Here we have observed. Now coming into a livestock. Is there any mutual benefit or only a single way of benefit? Let us see. When you are growing a fish culture along with poultry, here same example. I'm having a 1 hectare of area. In that 0.5 hectares, I have constructed a fish tank. At the same time, in 0.5 hectares, I have constructed a small shed, and I have given a 90% of the area I have utilized as a open grounded area. Why? Because 10% of area only I have constructed the shed to the poultries, and rest of the area is I have kept as a open. Here, when we are growing a poultries, when we are placing in a sticky place, the poultry is going to get a low weight without no need of alternative feeds. The poultries can get a huge weight when the fish is going to search the food in a ground. So in that base of factor, I have constructed a small in a small area. I have constructed a shed, and most of the area I have kept as a left in open. In daytime, the poultries are going to be moving in the ground, and they're going to search their food. And at evening, they're going to a shed. At the same time, not only they're going to search by food, then only they will get a feed. I will also provide the feed in the middle of the day or 2 times per day. But no objections in that, based on the farmer capability and based on the growth levels, and we can decide it the feeding levels. And when we are growing a poultries, definitely it is going to be secrete the excretions. When I was talking in a shed after a getting a low sunlight, definitely the poultries are going to get into a shed. In that shed, when I went to a morning, I have found a huge low amount or high amount of excretors are going to be done by the poultry boats. So what I have did is I have collected all the excreta and I have stocked in a one place. And after a few days of time period, the excreta is somewhat dried, and middle portion of the excreta is going to have a moist. And after a few days of time period, then I have taken this excreta into a fish tank. This fish tank, when I given this excreta, actually in a fish tank I'm not going to give any additional feeds. Here I have stocked in a low density. Actually the density of the stocking of the single species is, for example, 10,000. That is having a capacity for growing of 10,000 species. Instead of that, I have grown only a some thousand or 8,000 species only. So when we are stocking in a low density, here we can observe the low competition. That means low competition. How we are going to see is the competition between the species to species in getting of feed and in occupying of space. Here we can see the competition. So I when I am decreasing the competition, all the species are going to nourish their food which is present in the pond. So based on that factor, I have did a low stocking, and without giving of additional feed, I am concentrating only on developing the planktons for each and every regular period. If the composition of plankton is going to decrease, I'm fertilizing with organic manures and I'm getting a high plankton levels. Here how the plankton levels are maintained in a moderate level means by fertilizing with poultry excreta, I am developing the planktons. That's why for development of planktons, I have did excreta and I have stored for few days of time period. When I was storing that few days of time period, it is getting a high nutrient levels in that excreta, so that it is most usage for development of planktons. If I didn't stored and I have given directly to the fish tank, what it will be happen? I haven't stored the excreta what I have collected and directly have transferred to the fish tank. Here, one will be a advantage and there will be a disadvantage also when you are giving a wet excreta to the fish tank. When you are giving a high amount of wet excreta into the fish tank, in that only 10% or 50% of excreta is going to be consumed by the fishes, and the rest of the excreta is going to be drop in a bottom. Due to that, the entire water is going to be contaminated, and after a few days of time period from the excreta you can find a bacteria, and there will be a parasitic organisms also. Due to that, pond is going to be affected with a variety of diseases. So to prevent the diseases, the best thing is to provide a dried format or moist content of excreta is the best choice for giving a healthy condition to the pond. From the fish tank, is there any benefit to the poultry? Means there is no advantage to the poultry. There is only advantage to the fish tank from the poultry birds. This is the major concept which are going to seen in a fish cum poultry. Now coming into another bird species, those are called as the ducks. Here there is a slight difference to the poultry and duck. Same concept, zero point 0.5 hectares of fish tank I am having, and in zero point 0.5 hectares I have culturing, I am forming the ducks. Here, the differential factor for the fish cum poultry and fish cum duck is there is no barrier between the fish tank and duck farming, but there is a barrier to the fish tank and poultry because there is no connection to the fish tank and poultry birds. There is a differentiation. Here, I am not allowing the poultry birds to the fish tank. Here, the factor we have to remember. But in a duck farming, I'm not disconnection. I'm not giving any barrier to the fish tank and duck. So I'm breaking the barrier and I'm giving a open space for moving of ducks in a fish tank. Here the thing is, when poultries are going to be move on single place for the bird in a terrestrial area, but actually the ducks are going to move on terrestrial area, at the same time they want to move in water also. To give their suitable environment, I have giving a free source of wings to flow in a fish tank also. Here how it is going to be advantages when ducks are moving on surface of the fish tank water, the ducks are going to be consume the small microscopic organisms which are present on surface of water. At the same time, at dikes there will be a low or high amount of grass plants or aquatic weed plants will be there. By taking off that weed plants also, the ducks will consume. At the same time, when ducks are moving in a surface of water at any of the time period, definitely the ducks are going to drop the excreta. That means those are called as the droplings of the ducks. Those droplings, when when fish tank is going to be drop in that fish tank, we are already having the species. Those species are going to consume the droplings of the duck. At the same time, here I'm giving a free source of mobility in fish tank. At the same time, the ducks are consuming the insects which are useful or harmful to the fish tank. Definitely, insects are going to be harmful. Why? Because these are the transmitters of the disease from one tank to the another tank. At the same time, these are going to give the larval forms in a water. Those are also consumed by the duck. This is completely advantageous. At the same time, the when the fishes are going to be consume the planktons, at the same time these droplings are going to be treated as a additional feed. So due to that, here the feed to the fish is also be in a moderate level. These are the factors. So due to that, duck culture is getting a advantage. At the same time, fish culture is also getting a advantage. This is called as a mutual benefit also. At the same time, continuously the ducks are not going to be present in a surface of fish tank. They're going to be live on terrestrial, and during in a night time they're going to be kept in a shed. At the same time, in getting of morning, the excretors are going to be collected and these are going to be dumped in a particular area, and after few days of time period, these excretors are going to be distributed in a fish tank for not for nourishing the fishes, to develop the phytoplanktons as like of poultry excreta how the factor is done. Same like that, this duck excreta is also going to be treated as for development of planktons. But at the same time, when wet droppings are done by the ducks, those are treated as a fed by the fish. This is the concept. Do you understand? And the next thing is about the cattles. Fish come dairy cattles. This is very, very important. And the culture is going to be in a interesting way. Here, same. I'm going to give the same example to get a easy understand to you. So, same. I'm having 1 hectare of area. I am constructed a zero point 0.5 hectares of fish tank and zero point 0.5 hectares for the dairy cattle. Here I am using only a dairy cattle. That means dairy cattle means the milk breeds are called as milk breeds means milk producing cattle are called as milk breeds. So here I am growing only a milk producing cattle are only I am growing in the zero point 0.5 hectares. Here the see how the culture is. When I was doing a culture simultaneously, I am uh, getting a continuous excretion from the cattles. That is a dung. I am getting a dung. At the same time, I am getting a urine secretions in a daily way. So what I am doing is the secretions which are getting from the cattles. I'm not connecting to the passage to the fish tank. I'm connecting in a indirectly through the pipeline at one point of the fish tank. I'm passing the urine secretion to the fish tank at the same time. When I getting a cattle's dung, I'm not providing that entire dung to the fish tank in a continuous way. What I'm doing is the material, the excretion which is getting, I'm getting stored. Most of the amount I am storing, and very, very low amount I am rushing out into a fish tank. For to maintain a cattle shed in a neat way, at the same time, cattle should be a non-infectious conditions. If the when I left the dung at the same place, the entire cattle are going to be spread the dung in a body surface. Due to that, after a few days of time period, the flies will come at the same time. The cattle will affected with the diseases. So I am maintaining in a hygienic condition to maintain in a hygienic conditions. The buffaloes are cleaned in a daily morning or evening. That depends upon the farmer. At the same time, I am cleaning the shed where I was the cattle are placing in a place with the rushing of water on the body. That entire secretions I am passing into a fish tank. Here, when you are passing all the urine secretions and rushed out of water materials through this, the fish tank is getting a somewhat development for giving a nutrients levels for development of phytoplanktons. For development of phytoplanktons, the nutrients levels are getting a benefited. At the same time, I am storing the most amount of cattle dung in a particular place, and after a few days I am distributing it a fish tank. Here when I was giving this cow dung after few days of time period, the fish tank is going to be fertilized to develop the phytoplankton and zooplankton also. When you're providing the fresh amount of excreta or wet content of excretions, they will develop only for phytoplankton. Later, low amount of zooplankton will also provide also. That is the second thing. But but now when we are giving a later time period of cow dung to a fish tank, here it will provide a high amount of plankton development will be identified. This is the one type of benefit to the fish tank. Here, the fish from the fish tank, we are not going to be used for the cattles. We are depending upon the cattles only. we didn't want to feed alternate feeds also. When we're doing a integrated fish farming, the mostly the fishes are fed with only a natural feed only. We are not going to give any additional feeds, so that's why we are going to stock in a low density. That is a major conflict of this integrated fish farming. When you are doing a integrated fish farming with the cattles, here the only a single advantages which is getting a benefited from the cattle's farming only through the excreta. This is a major thing. And there is a second variety of culture that is called as a fish cum pig culture. Here the same thing, how we are growing of cattle, same the procedure is going to be applied in a pig culture also. Same by collecting of pig excreta and by storing of this excreta, and later we are going to distribute into a fish tank. You can also give a low amount in daily ration, which is going to be utilized as a feed by the fish. This is the concepts of the integrated fish farming. Yashwant,
Yes, sir.
Yashwant, do you having any doubts in integrated fish farming as per your knowledge?
Sir,
You
I
can
was
ask me
asking
a doubts.
uh, that in feeding the fishes uh,
In
in
feeding of
small amounts
fishes,
continuously, in small amount continuously, like cow dung or pig excreta,
okay.
the, some are provided in the beginning, and rest is stored.
Yes, yes,
So, so the fresh cow dung or fresh excreta works as feed for the fishes,
yes, yes. Okay.
and the rest stored one are used later.
Hmm.
That for growth of planktons, or that is also for fish feed.
Yes, yes, yes. Here, the major thing why the distribution of excreta is going to be provided high amount of nutrient levels to the fish tank. Maybe in a direct way, maybe in a indirect way. When we are giving a wet feed, it will be used as a direct nutrient level to the fish. When we are giving a indirect way, it gives nutrients levels for the development of plankton. This is the concept. If you are giving over continuous composition of excreta in a wet compound, that means fresh excreta, when you are giving in a high level of content in fish tank, it causes diseases also. We have to give it in a low composition only, based on the regulation of the excreta you are getting. In that we have to give only low compound. That is also a minor thing also. We have to completely depend upon the development of the phytoplankton or zooplankton. How we have to develop? By fertilizing the pond. The fertilization is going to be happened based on our culture, either cattle, pig, or goats, or vagere things, or poultry. Here the thing, here integrated fish farming, I want to give you one clarification also. When integrated fish farming we are doing, the major disadvantage of the integrated farming is we have to keep the high investment. This is the only disadvantage. There is no possibility to do it in a low investment. We have to give it in a high investment, then only we are going to see the high profits. In a integrated fish farming, we cannot do it a only we can do it in a single harvest. Means we can do it in a single harvest, or we can do it in a continuous harvesting is also possible in integrated fish farming. I have already said earlierly, integrated fish farming means in that fish integrated fish farming, the fish culture should be a major thing. Rest of the things are in a minor. We have to completely focus on the fish culture. So up to a complete harvesting of fish tank, it gives a single harvest. But the leftover alternate culture, we can continuously do a culture. We can do it in a continuous manner. We cannot do it in a single harvest also. If you want to do it, you can do it. But there is another way for continuous culture, and we can get a continuous profits. See how we are going to get a continuous profits in integrated fish farming. When you are doing a fish culture at the stockings, you have stocked at 100 grams or 150 grams you have stocked, and you are developed up to a 750 or 1 kg of weight. It taken up to duration of 6 to 8 months, of minimum 6 months, maximum of 8 months you have taken, and the you have did a harvest. Here your process completed. But in simultaneously you're growing a poultries. You're growing a poultries. Particularly the species of poultries are you're growing is layered layer birds you're growing. That means the bird which is producing a egg, those are called as a layers. Here, the thing, when you layers are forming, when you're doing a forming on layers, after a few days of culture time period, you will get egg collection from the each and every bird. And the egg collection you're going to collect, and you're going to be collect for up to a 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, that depends upon you. And you can do a marketing with that X. That means if you wait for 1 week, you are going to get a 100x. You can market it. No, I want to do a market in huge way. You are going to wait for next week. You will get a 200x. So like that, based upon you egg collection, you are going to do a marketing, and up to a end of the egg laying production, you are going to get a continuous profits from the poultry. This is the first factor. And after completion of the egg laying, again, for which cost you have purchased the each and every bird, better than that, you can do it again, marketing of the poultry bird. Here the thing you are going to see in a layered ones. You are getting a complete investment at the end of the harvest with some profit. At the same time, in middle of the culture or a few days of time period of the culture, you are getting a smaller amounts of profits. That is also possible in integrated fish farming. Now the same thing, in there is another culture, you are going to get a continuous profits. Those are nothing but cattles. See, I'm growing the cattles, those who are producing the milk production. Those who are producing milk production, those only I'm growing here. So daily I'm going to get a milk production from the cattle. So all from entire all the cattles I am collecting the milk, and I'm doing a transport. That means nothing but a marketing I'm doing. So daily in monthly wise, definitely I'm going to get a profits. And end of the day, after a completion of the milk production, milking period, that is called as a milk period. From starting to end, it takes up to a few months of time period. After completion of milk period, you can do it a harvest. That means the entire cattle you can sell it, and you will get a better profits also here. This is the situation. At the same time, if you didn't want to sell the layers, if you want to still grow, you can grow it, and you can breed the layers. Again, you will get a egg collection from the poultry. Same like that. After completion of the milk production, you will wait for a few days of time period. Then again, the female these cattle are going to be breeded, and again you will get a offspring. Due to that offspring, you will get a milk production. So this is not a stop. You can, if you want to stop the culture, you can stop it. At the same time, you can continue the culture. You can do the culture by producing of number of animals. Here you will get a huge profits in this. Here, when you are doing a integrated fish farming, definitely we have to need a high investment. This is only one factor. One disadvantage. There is another disadvantage also. If you are not taking any precautions, like in a hygiene or in a uh, maintenance level, definitely the cultures are going to be damaged. Here, how we have to keep maintain a precautions in a hygienic way. That means we have to pass the excreta in a indirect way, not in a direct way. So this will going to be used for the decreasing or prevention of the diseases or spreading of the disease to the fish tank. When birds or animals are allowed into a fish tank, here there is a low or high amount of transmission of diseases. There is a defect in also in duck culture, as we have said that when the ducks are moving on surface of water, we are getting a benefits. At the same time, we can also get a disadvantage also. That's why we have to monitor the each and every bird and animal, whether it is diseased or not. Based on that, we have to take the precautions. If the bird or animal is get diseased, based on the behavior, we can identify and we can separate it from the culture. With that, we can prevent it. At the same time, there are some precautions to take care. The tools which are using in a culture, those are very very important. These are the factors to follow the integrated fish farming. Ishwan, do you have any doubts in this topic?
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay, okay. Now, let us jump into a new topic. That is, I think you are very much interested to know. I think that is nothing but ornamental. What do you know about ornamental species? Do you have any uh, idea, Yashwant?
No, sir, I have no idea.
Okay. Do you know how the ornamental fishes are going to be breed?
No, sir.
Do you think that ornamental fishes will produce a directly offsprings? That means baby fishes are going to develop the ornamental fishes, whether it is a true or a false statement.
I don't know, sir. Is it true or false?
Yes, this is the true, Yashwant. The ornamental fishes will give direct birth to a small baby of fish. You didn't know. You didn't have seen any guppy fishes.
No, sir.
Okay,
This is
okay,
completely new topic for me.
okay, okay, okay. Okay then. All right. I will say it. A few things about the ornamental fishes. Actually, I will give a small introduction about this ornamental fish culture. This ornamental fish culture is started in ancient times. In later years, so much of years back onwards, these ornamental fishes are going to be used uh, as a ornamental thing in a house for attracting the guests, which are when one of the family member or a relative member, or when the guest when entering into a house, they when they found the aquarium tank or aquarium fishes, they will definitely attract to that, so that in a ornamental way these fishes are going to be kept in a house. At the same time, when uh, nowadays this ornamental fish culture is treated as a habitat. Almost all the members are going to grow the ornamental fishes. Why they are growing the ornamental fishes? Is there any benefit? That means when we are looking on a ornamental fishes, definitely our stress levels are going to be decrease. This is the main cause for the culture of ornamental fishes. And those who are not going to grow for stress levels, those are going to be treated as the ornamental way only, like to decorating the house with the ornamental fishes. Only like that, only in an ornamental way we can use it. At the same time, those who are doing a culture in a habitat way, that is called as a stress factor. That is kept as a
So is
stress
it
factor
relate?
to
Is
decrease the
it
stress levels.
so? Is it similar to
Say yes one.
ornamental plants? Like, is it similar to
Ornamental
like ornamental plants? Plants like for decoration
ornamental
purpose and
plants.
aesthetic purposes.
Actually, ornamental plants are, we can see it in a two different. One in a live plants and second one is in artificial plants. Here, artificial plants will also used as a decoration. At the same time, live plants we can also do it in a decoration. At the same time, here we can do it in a commercial way of decoration. We can use it by keeping of when entrance of our house, when it is having a door, instead of that where the door is connected to a one wooden pulp area, in that area you can fix as a ornamental aquarium tank. In that aquarium tank you can keep the ornamental fishes in that. You can do a decoration for the house like that in a in a permanent way also, by giving of continuous water exchange like that. You can, it is a somewhat commercially you can do it all the things. Yes, somewhat but decoration means only within the house, only one of the member is going to be treated as a one ornamental thing decoration, like in that one of the family member are going to be used as the, to decrease the stress factors, like they're going to play with the fishes by knocking on the aquarium tank. See, when the kids are moving on the aquarium tank, they're going to attract. In that, indirectly, the kids are going to get some knowledge. See how they're going to get knowledge. Actually, when they're going to school, they will used to make learn count, making of numbers, learning of numbers. They used to apply here. How many fishes are present in aquarium tank? The children will count one, two, three, four, five, like that. That means they are getting indirectly small amount of knowledge to the childrens also. We can say it like that also. At the same time, they used to know how many colors on the body, which color the fish is having. They're going to identify the color differentiation also. And they can, the kids will also know the fishes are few are large, few are small, few are moving very very fast, few are moving in very slow. They're going to learn the indirectly few or low amount of knowledge when we are maintaining a aquarium tank. In ancient time period, they used to keep in a house those who are in richest man, which is in a richest man, the king used to keep the aquarium tank. At the same time, when the king is meeting with another area's king, then definitely the person is going to gift the aquarium tank. By giving of gifts also, in ancient time period they used to give a aquarium tank as a gift thing, gift thing. So like that, it is going to be did as a commercial way in a huge scale. Mostly the aquarium culture or ornamental fish culture are going to be treated as a attractiveness to the eyes. When our eyes are attracting that aquarium tank or fishes, definitely our body is going to be a stress free. This is the major thing. Now we'll discuss how the aquarium fishes are going to be breed. This is the same point. This breeding concept is going to be applied in our commercial culture fishes also, like cutler, rohu, mrigala, series, cyprina, scorpio, hypothalamic, mollectris, steno, all the not only these varieties, all the different variety of fish groups, we can identify the same factors. See, uh, these fishes are going to be breed in a three different ways. First type of breeding is carried in a oviparous. Second type of breeding is carried in a viviparous. Third one is ovoviviparous. What is mean by oviparous? Means the fishes which are laying eggs are called as a oviparous. These are called as a egg layers also. Egg layers are called as a oviparous type of breeding is going to be seen. That means when female releases the eggs, and those eggs are going to be fertilized by the male fish by giving off milk on the eggs, so that unfertilized eggs will be fertilized. Due to that, our unfertilized eggs are going to be fertilized, and definitely we are going to see the offsprings on a later time period. Now coming into a viviparous, these are called as a live barriers. Live barriers means these are not going to produce the eggs. These will give directly birth to a new offspring or a baby of fish is called as a egg is called as a live barriers. In live barriers we are going to see the viviparous. Vivi means within the body fertilization will takes place, and from that body directly the baby will come out, fish baby will come out. You too easy understand, I am saying that baby, so we should not use the term baby in the fishes. We had to use it as a offsprings. Offsprings are nothing but a baby. So we got to know oviparous means egg layers. That means female will release the eggs. Those eggs are going to be fertilized and outside. But in viviparous, here eggs not going to produce within the body. The milk will go into the female inside of the body, and their fertilization will carried out, and from out of the body small offsprings will come out. Now coming into third type, ovoviviparity. Here both the combinations of oviparity and viviparity are identified in third type. That means female will lay the eggs too, at the same time from the body female is not going to give the egg to the outside. Okay, it will give out to the newly offspring baby will come out from the fish. So both the factors are going to be seen in a one fish. Then it is called as a ovoviviparity. See, when eggs are completely matured, those eggs are going to be placed at a end of the uterus position. That uterus position is going to be seen on the near to the anus. Clear? Near to the anus of the fish is going to be seen as a uterus portion. In that uterus portion, the egg is going to be stopped there. Later some time period, the male will come and male will deposit the milk on the female body, and the milk is going to be fertilize the egg, and later on that from that egg one offspring will come out, and that offspring is going to be come out from the anus of the fish. This is called as a ovoviviparous. These are the three different types of breeding types are going to be seen in the fishes. Those are nothing but oviparity, viviparity, and ovoviviparity. I will give you a small examples for the live barriers. Live barriers means what, Ashwant? Do you know? Have you understood what is mean by live barriers?
Yes, sir, which give direct birth to the offspring.
Ah,
You know.
yes, yes, exactly, exactly. Live barriers means which gives the direct birth to the offspring. So, we are having a few of the ornamental fishes examples I will give. One is a guppy fishes are very, very most widely used as a live barrier, and tail fishes are called. We call it as a tail fishes, but complete word is sword tail. Sword tail fishes. That means sword tail means like sword. The tail fin is going to be extended. Tail fin means caudal fin. We have discussed it in last class. Tail fin is called as a caudal fin. So in that caudal fin, one we are going to see in each and every of the fin, we are going to identify the fin rays. That means the small lines will be observed on the fins. So those lines are called as the fin rays. In that fin ray, one of the fin ray is extended from the fin. Understand the concept? We're having a fin. In that inside of the fin, we are going to identify the fin rays, and one of the fin ray is extended out to the fin. That is called as a sword. That extended fin ray is looking going to look like a sword. So that's why we're calling the fishes as a sword tail. And there are some platies also there. Remember, try to remember in a easy way. We are going to have a guppy fishes and also a swordtail fishes. Now coming into a egg layers. Egg layers means we are having a best example, that is a goldfish, and koi carps are going to be seen as a egg layers. We can also say the barbus fishes and the tetras fishes and danos fishes are also called as egg layers. And when coming into a ovoviviparous, here both the conditions are going to seen in a very very rarely we can identify this character. Mostly this character is going to be seen on cultured species, that is ovoviviparous is going to be seen in a cultured species. In ornamental fishes, this character is very very low. So that's why in an oral content I have said that in culture species also this breeding character will be identified. I have said in a common, it is common to all the variety of fishes. So definitely, if you want to know the example, you can do it as a platyfishes are called as a, and also Poecilia species are mostly a ovoviviparous of ornamental fishes. Goldfish is a egg layer, guppy is a live barrier, and ovoviviparous character is going to be seen in Poecilia species. Mostly all the Poecilias are going to be seen as ovoviviparous, and some few of the platyfishes. But a swordtail is observed in oviparous or viviparous. Yashwant. Swordtail is observed in live
Viviparous.
barrier. Yes, yes, exactly viviparous. Here you got the point. Here, how to maintain the aquarium? You got to know the how to do the breedings. Few based on the breeding type, you can do the breeding successfully in a particular area. But how the aquarium or ornamental fish culture is going to be practiced in our house? How to do that? Uh, Sir, can you tell me, please, in a simple way? Means definitely, I will give you a most of the content in a simple way. Here, we have to select the aquarium tank. In which type of aquarium tank you want to grow the ornamental fishes? You have to decide the tank. We can see the tanks in different shapes of uh, pot shaped aquarium tank, a rectangular shape you can see it, and a square type of aquarium tank also we can do the ornamental fish culture. Three different types of shapes are there. One is a rectangular, square, and third one is pot shaped. So pot we can call it as a bowl, or we can say that like that also. So these are the three different types of aquariums for growing of ornamental fishes. So we have, if you want to do a culture in a rectangular or square shaped, we have to definitely construct the aquarium by using of glass fiber material. Glass fiber material we have to use it for construction of ornamental tank. And if you want to attach these glasses, we have to use the silicone gel. By using of the silicone gel, the glasses are going to be attached. Okay, so after attaching with the silicone gel, we have to leave it for a few hours of time period for getting a stronger attachment from glass to glass. So after time period, after some period, the tank is going to be uh, placed in a suitable area where you want to place. But when you want to place the aquarium tank, you have to know the few factors. That is, one of the factor is nothing but when the tank is kept in a darker area, dark place. In that area, the sunlight is not penetrating. The fishes are going to be in a unhealthy condition. So, in the place where you want to keep the aquarium tank, that sunlight should be present, not in a entire day, only a particular duration of time period only. The tank should get a sunlight, and rest of the time period it should be in a dark place. Okay, only low amount of lightning should be present on the aquarium tank. That is the first factor. And the second factor, when you want to place the aquarium tank, in a particular area, the tank should not be movable. That should not be movable. It should be sticky to that place. If you repeatedly moving the tank from one place to another place, the tank is going to be delicate and it is going to be get leakages of water. After the setup of aquarium tank, we have to fill the water, so water will leak if you are doing a continuous moving of aquarium tank, so that will affect. At the same time, the glasses may break also sometimes. This is the factor. And the third thing is, mm, third thing is when you want to place the aquarium tank, the bottom of the aquarium tank is should be protected by placing of some cloth, or by placing of thermocol, or placing of any soft substance at bottom condition, that gives a bottom for a good support to unbreak the entire glass fiber, because the major base of the aquarium tank is going to be present in a bottom. When you protecting with softest materials, the corners of the aquarium tank are going to be protected in a healthy way. So that's why we had to place it in a stable condition, and it should not be movable. And we have to protect the bottom layer by placing of thermocol, or different layers of cotton layer. You can place it. These are the factors you should definitely know before placing the aquarium tank in a one place. And then after, sunlight is your protecting in a morning time or in a evening time. At the same time, the aquarium tank is not moving and it is not shaking also, and you have placed the bottom with different types of objects for giving a best support. Then after, you have to clean the fresh water. You have to clean the tank with the fresh water. And also you can use the salt water for the first time, and then after you can thoroughly wash with the fresh water. Because when you are constructing the aquarium tank, here we can see low amount of microscopic organisms will be there, or it may have some rust materials of the silicon gel material, or the rust materials of the glass cutting materials will be there. So to avoid all the things, we have to clean once or twice before stocking the ornamental fishes. And most of the content of the aquarium tank is filled. Almost 70 to 80% of the tank is going to be filled with fresh water. Then after, you have to stock the ornamental fishes, which variety you want to stock. But selection of the species is also important in ornamental fish culture. Why the sex is important? Here we know that ornamental fishes are going to be utilized as a stress-free factors. They're having different types of colors. So the color I need, or I have selected, I'm placing in aquarium tank. That means that has to be live in a longer period of time period. That means when you are placing a different variety of species which belong to the different family or different species, is going to be give the competition to the one to the another. Maybe if you have selected a two different variety of species, in that one is aggressive, that means dominant. One is very recessive, that means it is a very dull factor. And definitely the dominant will show aggressiveness on the recessive fishes. So to avoid the dominance, we can have to differentiate the species. So where there is a community, easy community species will be there. That means when you place the 5 species, 10 species, 20 species, all the species of the 20 should be in a friendly nature. One should not bite to the another one. One should not fight with another one. One should not show competition in getting of food consumption. We should not do all the things. Those are all should be in a friendly nature. So those are called as a community species. So definitely when you want to grow the aquarium culture, the species of community, those the combination, which combination is going to be seen in a friendly way, those that combination only we had to grow it in a aquarium tank. This is the important factor in selection of species. Then after we had to give the aeration to the tank. We can after giving of aeration, we can decorate our aquarium tank with different types of objects, like it gives the most attractiveness to the aquarium tank. Like we can place the aquarium stones. Aquarium stones means a small bubble shaped structure will be there, which are in different colors. You can see most variety of colors we can see when we are placing them. That shows our bottom with different variety of stones. There is a advantage in this. First thing is the tank bottom should be in a uh, color different color nature will be seen. And the second thing is, when we're growing the ornamental fishes, definitely these fishes are going to give the secretions, and those secretions are going to be fall into a bottom. And without placing of air stones, the secretions are going to be kept like a black portions that going to be seen as a ugly way. The tank is going to be seen in a bad condition. So to give a good environment, to give a attract our eyes, when we are placing the aquarium stones on bottom, when the secretions are fallen, these stones are going to be cover the secretions. They cannot easily visible the secretions. So without stones, we can visible clearly how much secretion is fallen, and that shows the entire water quality in a bad way. So our eyes are going to be seen as in a bad condition. So our eyes should be attracted to the aquarium tanks, so that to defect all the quality of the water, when you are placing the stones air aquarium stones, definitely those are going to cover, and these are going to sediment on the rocks, so that not rocks, stones. Due to that, our tank is going to be visible in a neat and clear. This is the first thing. And later, after placing of aquarium stones, you can place the artificial plants. At the same time, natural plants also we can place it in a aquarium tank. Why? Because here ornamental fishes are not grown only for unbreeders. We can also use it as for breeding purpose. When we're doing a breeding, after completion of breeding, the offsprings are come out from the mother. So few of the species, after giving birth to a offspring, immediately those offsprings are also going to be consumed by the mother. Here, this parental care is going to be seen in a bad condition. So offsprings are not protected by the mother. Instead of protection, those are going to be treated as a feed, and those are going to be consumed, and those are going to be bite on the offsprings. So to avoid to protect themselves and to escape from that parent, they're going to hide in that plants. So that's why here in the tank definitely we need a natural plants or artificial plants. Better thing is to giving a natural plant. Definitely the plant will grow in a healthy way by taking off sunlight. That's why we are giving a lightning to the aquarium tank. That is not only for the plant which are placed in aquarium tank. At the same time, the fishes will also uh, need a low amount of lightning. When it is kept in a completely dark, the fishes will get a low immunity. So to avoid that low immunity, Definitely, the temperature is also one of the factor for the good health condition. This is the one factor. For decoration, we have doing the aquarium stones. Then after that, aquarium plants. These are maybe natural or artificial. Then after that, we have to finally we have to do that provide the aeration. We can instead of giving aeration, we can use the biofilters. These filters are going to give the two functions. One thing is they will give aeration continuously, and then after that, continuously the water is going to be filtered with by them. This bilingual function is going to be observed in filters. When you're concentrating only in aeration, we have to use the air stones. In due to that air stones, the gas will penetrate from the air stone, and bubbles will secrete. Due to that, here the DO is going to be seen in a healthy way, and the fishes will be also in a healthy condition. But with by concentration with the air stones, definitely we have to clean the tank for every 5 to 7 days of time period. If the tank is in bad condition, definitely we have to do it in a 3 to 4 days also. Based on the quality of water, we have to do the water exchange. But when you're but when you're placing the filters, here no need for every 5 days to 7 days. Takes up to a 10 to 15 days of time period it will take. Then after that, you can exchange the water. And after finishing of after setting of all those things, and finally you have to cover the aquarium tank with certain objects based on your interest. The material you can use to cover the top of the tank. Mostly the tank is covered with thermocol material. That thermocol is going to be shaped in different ways based on your attractiveness. You can made it like a hunt and the roof of the house. You can construct like a roof of the house, or you can construct like a roof of the hunt hut, like that. Based on your interest, you can design it in a different ways. This is the concept. Again, I want to repeat in a simplest way. First, you have to construct the aquarium tank. You have to collect the glass fiber material, and these are attached with silicone gel, and this entire aquarium is going to be cleaned and kept in a particular place, which is unmovable place. And at the bottom of the aquarium tank, you have to place the thermocol for giving a support to the bottom. And then after, we had to fill it with fresh water, and we had to select the species. We had to decrease here competition in food and occupying a space. Here the community species are going to be selected and stocked. Then after, the aquarium tank is decorated with raw aquarium stones and aquarium plants. Later on, that we have to fix the aeration to the tank. Here we can use air stones or biofilters, which based on that our tank will get aeration. For particular time period of interval, we have to do the water exchange. This is the final output of the aquarium culture. Clear, Yashwant? You having any doubts?
Yes, sir. No, sir. No.
Okay, okay. This is about the aquarium culture. Mostly, we can do a culture by using of live barriers, egg layers, at the same time over parity type of species. But mostly, these aquarium species or ornamental fishes are completely related to a freshwater bodies only. There are some marine water aquarium fishes are also there, but majority of the aquarium fishes are belong to a freshwater. So that's why In our freshwater aquaculture, there is a concept ornamental fish culture is also there. This is the concept. Today we have discussed about the integrated fish farming and breeding of the fishes. We, as per our ornamental fish culture, we have get to know the breeding, but this is applicable in a natural way of the all variety of fishes which are present in river, lakes, reservoirs, and ponds, oceans, in all the variety of fishes are going to be seen only in any of the three variety, either viviparity, oviparity, or ovoviviparity. The definitely the fish is going to be seen like this. But as per in this ornamental fish culture, I have said, I have used the word parental care is very very bad in few of the species. That means uh, particularly in live barriers, particularly live barriers, when we are growing the breeders of the live barriers, after giving of birth to a offspring, they're going to be feed on their offsprings only. So to avoid aggression on their offsprings, definitely we have to remove the offsprings as early as possible from the mother. Here the thing we have to remember, at the same time, mostly we have to grow the same aged species in a aquarium tank. That is a better. If one is a large species another one is a small species means they're going to show the competition one on the other. So to avoid the competition, we have to stock the same age groups. This factor is going to be seen in culture ponds also. In monoculture, polyculture also, we have to stock the same species. This is the concepts. And another concept, I want to give a small information about the content. Mm, Up to now, we have discussed up to now we have discussed about the completely about fishes only. Fishes groups we have discussed. But in freshwater, there are shellfishes are there. Do you know what those are called as shellfishes?
They have solid outer skeleton like structure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you give an example?
Um, example, example, I don't know.
Okay. Actually, I will give you information. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Actually, here the thing is, shellfishes means the body of the fish which is made with a shell, which may be a thick or thin. That means hard or not that much of harder is also no problem. But the body is covered with a shell. Those are called as shellfishes. Up to now, we have discussed about the Indian major crops, exotic major crops, like the fish varieties we have discussed. Is the fishes belong to shellfish or each type of fishes are these? Do you know? These are the examples for which variety of fish group.
Which one, sir?
Katla, Rohu, Mrigala, all these belong to a which type of group?
Which type of group?
Fishes,
Like
all the fishes are going to be
freshwater,
called with one term. No, no, no.
freshwater fishes.
Actually, uh, wait. I will give you a clarity. Actually, when fishes are covered with the scales, each and every fish is going to have the scales definitely. If eyes cannot visible, But if we cannot visible means the scales are not present. Definitely the scales will be appear, maybe in microscopic or macroscopic. When body is covered with scales are called as fin fishes. Remember the word fin fishes. When body of the fish is covered with shells, those are called as a shellfishes. Fin fishes are called as a example. I will give IMC, EMC. That means and Katla, Rohu, Mrigala, Cyprina, Scorpio, Hypothalamic, Moltrix, Tinofaractanella. These are the IMC, EMC. Along with this, catfishes, air breathing fishes, catfishes like Clarius batrachus and Channa, Volga 2, Volga 2, Clarius batrachus. All these are called as a catfishes. Air breathing fishes like Channa punctatus, Channa striatus, Channa morulalis, Channa gachua. All these are called as a completely a fin fishes because they are having a fins. At the same time, their body is covered with scales. That's why these are called as a fin fishes. When coming to shellfishes, their body is covered with completely a skeleton. So that's why hard skeleton or shell is called as a shellfishes like prawns, shrimps, molluscan species are there. I have said two words prawns and shrimps. Do you know the difference between the prawns and shrimps, Yashwant?
Prawns are in a bit bigger size
Okay.
than shrimp.
Your voice is breaking. Prawns are bigger.
So I don't know the complete difference. Yes, prawns
Okay,
are a
okay,
little
okay.
bigger in size than shrimps.
Okay, okay. Actually, I will say, uh, as per our visibility, when we're looking these prawns and shrimps, they appear like a same. There is no differentiation on their body parts. But based on the species, the color may vary and the size may vary. But those who are called prawns, those who are called as shrimps, definitely we have to know the shellfishes which are living in a fresh water are called as a prawns. Shellfishes which are living in a fresh water all called as a prawns. That means Macrobrachium rosenbergi, Macrobrachium malcolmsoni. These are called as a prawns. When coming into a shrimp, when shellfishes are living in a marine water or brackish water are called as a shrimps. Definitely we have to maintain a minimum amount of salinity. So minimum amount of salinity when shellfishes are growing, those are called as a shrimp. Best example, Penis monodon, Penis indicus, Penis japonicus, Leptopenis wanami. Leptopenis wanami. This is the wide variety of culture species. The shrimp we call the uh, call it as a when it is having a salinity content in their habitat. When there is a zero salinity in their habitat, those are called as a prawns. So this is the difference between the prawns and shrimp. Now you say present scenario, which type of shellfish is growing in a pond culture by the farmers? Do you know?
Sir, Rosenberg and Martin's one.
Rosenberg and Malcolm Sony. What are these? Prawns or shrimps?
Prawns, prawns.
Prawns. I'm asking about the shrimp. Which variety of shrimp present nowadays culturing? Where you're from, Ashwant?
I'm from Bihar.
Okay. In your area, what the type of species they are rearing? Not fishes. Alternate type of species I want.
I don't know much about here.
Farmers will grow na. Either there's a katla, rohu, mrigala, or any other type of shellfishes. As I said, monodon, indicus, or wanami,
Mostly they grow, mostly they grow rowa and katla.
rohu, and katla. We have you heard the sound wanami? You didn't hear the sound wanami?
No, sir.
No. Okay. You have to know this. Wanami is the most cultivable species in shellfish is wanami. In areas of coastal region, this wanami is a very, very, very popular word. This complete word is Leptopenis wanami. We're calling it is. It is native to the USA, and we have imported this, and we are doing a use culture in a wanami. In olden days, we are going to see the penis monodon due to some factors of disease causing, and we are not having any prevention particular disease. So penis monodon is stopped, and we are culturing the wanami species. This is a shrimp. Okay, this is a shrimp you are going to see. Okay. Having any doubts regarding today's section?
No, sir, no doubt.
Okay, I want to know about you. What is your qualification and what you are doing right now?
So currently I am pursuing BSc Honors Agriculture, Jaipur, from Jaipur.
Okay, okay,
Uh, I'm doing this diploma course from IGNOU. I wanted to
okay,
know more about it.
okay, okay. BSc Agriculture you are studying.
Yes, sir. Third year.
Mm. I think you will get one of the subject that is integrated farming. You will definitely going to study this topic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mostly you are going to study the concept of paddy with fish culture. This is the most common concept
Yes,
for
sir.
integrated farming. Maybe if you are a BSc agriculture means if your curriculum you are having, definitely you will going to study the different variety with fish combinations like azolla, fish cum azolla, fish cum
Yes,
mushroom
sir.
you can study, fish cum vegetables, fish cum flowering plants of sunflower. Sorry, that flower name I forgot. One of the flower will be there. So there are different variety of flowering plants are also there, and there is a another particularly for vegetable fruiting plants are also there, like coconut, fish cum coconut tree.
Yes,
Coconut
sir.
tree is there, na? Coconut fruit. Uh, those trees or plants are going to be grown with fish culture. That is also a one type of integrated farming. Actually, this is
Yes,
not
sir.
a complete harvesting culture. You can see it China, Taiwan in that areas. Not only in these areas, you can also see it in northern states of our India. Also, you can find the continuous culture of integrated farming with coconut fruits with fish culture is going to be seen. You can see them in
Yes, sir.
YouTube channel also. These are very very popular. Actually, in ancient times, rice with fish culture is there, but present nowadays also, where India is having a low practice in paddy cum fish culture, but China is continuously practicing in fish cum paddy field. That is another type of way of sector that is having China, but we are not
I
having.
I've
Say,
also heard about paddy and crabs.
say once again.
I've also heard about paddy and crabs.
Ah, yes, yes. But we cannot call the crab as a fish. That is a shellfish. See, I didn't explain you. Fin fishes means those who are having a fins. That means pectoral, pelvic, anal, caudal fin, those who are having, those are called as fin fishes. Say, when coming into shellfishes, prawns, shrimps, I have said that Rosenberg is a prawn and marine water species are called as a shrimps. At the same time, in this group of shellfish, we are having prawns, shrimps, crab, and some molluscan lobsters are also called as shellfishes. Clear? These are all having a shell on their body. So that's why these are called as shellfishes. Molluscans means we can say the oyster species and those who are producing a perils are called as a shellfishes also. Edible oysters are there, non-edible oysters are also there. Edible oysters means they are not having capability of producing peril. They will produce the meat and that meat is consumed by the humans. Those are called as the edible oysters. There is another type, pearl oysters. These are not going to be treated as a food. These are used as a ornamental. Why? Because entire their life they're going to produce a small amount of attractive ornamental product that is called as a peril. So that peril is going to be produced by the one oyster. Those are called as a peril oysters. These are called as a shellfishes. But when I'm saying integrated fish farming, this integrated fish farming is completely related to a fin fishes. At the same time too, we can use the culture along with agriculture with crabs also. We can also do it. See, I want to give you a clarification. The fishes means the fishes means not only a katla, rohu, and mrigala. The fishes means shellfishes of prawns will come and shellfishes of shrimps will come, crabs will come. But when you are saying particularly about fin fishes, those groups are called as a katla, rohu, mrigala, catfishes, air breathing fishes. But when you are seeing a when you are calling a shellfishes, then you have to give a names of prawns, shrimps, crabs. Now I said oysters, all this will come. So this is the factor in a aquaculture subject or freshwater aquaculture we are studying as per your curriculum. But in this we have to remember that fish is nothing but all the aquatic organisms groups are called as a fishes. But there are some differentiation based on their appearance. Based on their appearance. If you are identifying the fins, those are called fin fishes. If you are identifying a shell, those are called as shellfishes. This is the factor. Have you got clarification, Yashwant?
Yes, I'm clear. I'm clear.
Ah, yes, yes. That is the point. Okay, very good. Even though you are a BSc agriculture student, you are studying a freshwater. Okay. You applied for freshwater
Actually,
agriculture or any other subject?
I've applied for coastal actually.
Coastal agriculture. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, even though gaining a knowledge is very, very important in any of the sports. Even you are coastal agriculture student, you are learning a freshwater too. You're getting some knowledge. Okay, okay. We will discuss in tomorrow's section with different topics. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Again, you can listen it. Okay. We will meet in tomorrow.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.